I think in 15 years' time, the way we work is going to be incredibly different. I think on the immersive side, all of us involved in design work are going to be able to see, a live model and be able to interact with it and develop the designs in a much more collaborative manner.
I think in 15 years' time, our design process will be using much more data from infrastructure, moving away from assumptions and modelling, and actually using real data from real infrastructure to ensure that our designs are more precise and more efficient. And to take an example, when you take an office building, making sure that the building management system is enabled to add additional sensors in, so you know who's operating that building, how it's been operated, and then you can start to feed that data back into the design process to ultimately lead to a more efficient design for that office building. And that'll help us move towards a smart city, a future city that is resilient, where the infrastructure is enabled and adaptive so that we can help to mitigate against future changes in population growth and climate.
My sector is highways asset management. I'm also seeing products that use optimisation technology to predict for decades into the future how assets will behave and what we should do to them, and it allows optimised interventions over a long period of time, which is actually worth hundreds of millions of pounds in some projects.
I would like to think that our deliverables would be really exciting. You would have your deliverable on a stick or you'd upload it and it would project into the room. So as a design consultancy, you would be able to physically show somebody the bridge that you're designing or the school, and your clients can look at it and it would kind of float in the room and they could spin around and explore it that way, as well as the more traditional documents that would accompany it.
In 15 years, our deliverables will be much richer. I think there'll be a lot more data behind and justification for our designs. I don't think paper drawings are going to go away in the short term. They're very, very robust as contractual documents, but we can be also providing a lot richer content to go with them.
I think to enable the use of data in design, you're going to need to have collaboration between designers and asset managers, because they'll be looking for different types of data.
I think one of the trends we're really seeing in the rail sector is the usefulness of the gigantic databases we've got out there for people out on site. A lot of work's gone into interconnecting everything that's there back in the head office. Lots of very, very disparate types of information have been joined together, and it's becoming more and more useful now because people have access to it out on site. As and when they do work, they're able to update the master databases, and suddenly we have live databases where the information is always up to date, and that's of incredible use.
Wearable technology, I think, will come into play. And the great thing is it leaves your hands free, which often engineers working out in the field need that. So I think that's going to be a very useful addition to our technology.
In 15 years' time, I'd like to think that everyone has some sort of portable device to work digitally. We all must become paperless. We do a lot of site work and it will just be much more efficient, and I think it will just be almost inevitable that we'll move in that direction.
We have a fundamental challenge as engineers to be able to articulate what we do in a more effective way. And I think through social media, for example, we will be able to particularly raise the status of engineers within society. And it's a nice goal to aim for, us having engineers having the same sort of kudos as sports personalities, for example.